guys? It's Dom here from Sounds for Magazine and Gimme a Hole. Yeah, I had a wonderful chat with Vinny Pacifico from Control Your Narrative recently to talk about his goals, his relationship with EC3, and just give me more information on what CYN is about and what the mission statement is. It was great to see someone with Vinny's enthusiasm, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for checking this out. Do check out Control Your Narrative, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah. First question, Vinny, then, I guess, is how did you get to Control Your Narrative? How did it happen for you, man?
So this is a crazy story that takes many turns. If you ask EC3, he'll tell you the same thing. So what happened was I came to him for advice on getting in shape because COVID, I caught COVID 2.5 years ago. And I stopped wrestling for a few months because I was sick and I just got rest. And there weren't really shows running, so I just stopped for like 3 months. And in that 3 months, I gained a lot of fat, a lot of weight. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I'm ready to get back. This is starting to get bookings again, but I cannot come back to wrestling looking like this. So he gave me a really good diet, really good plan. And also, in the process of this, the company I was returning to asked me, Vinny, who do you want to wrestle in your comeback match? Granted, 3 months, not really a comeback, but whatever it was. I said EC3. They're like, okay, perfect. So they made that. And I said, I'm not wrestling EC3 looking like the way I look now, or at the moment I did. So I got the diet. I stick to it to a T, to an absolute T. Dropped 30 pounds in about 2.5 weeks, and it looked my best. Tanned, the whole nine.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we had a really good match. And ever since then, we had a relationship. We became friends. He helped me out whatever I needed. He's been there for me through thick and thin. Everything I needed, he's always there for me. And everything he told me has been right since day one. So it's just, that's how it started. And then we had a second match this year. And he was like, damn, that was really good. He really liked it. And that's when he was like really confident in my abilities to bring me into CYN.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I guess an extension of that, like, what is your backstory? So obviously we're at CYN right now. Where do you come from, man? Like, tell me a bit about yourself beforehand.
So I was trained by Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Delirious, Will Ferrara, Jonathan Gresham, Cheeseburger,
awesome.
And a little bit Retitus. So that's where I'm coming from. I worked for Ring of Honor for a little bit. And it's just, that was the best locker room I've ever been in. The people in that locker room have been so supportive of everything. Like, they're awesome people. But then I started doing more, and I started, obviously I was doing indies also, but the indies took off a little more for me. I wrestled actually in the UK for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Some small tours. But then I was like 17 at the time too. Crazy for me being on the left side of the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
But yeah, so I am very blessed to have done some amazing things in my career that I've done. Very blessed, beyond blessed, and I'm grateful for everything. I really am.
Absolutely. We'll talk about career highlights in a little while. One of the things I do want to ask, because it's different for everyone, you'll have different definitions of this word than the next person. How do you define success, Vinny? What does success mean to you as a person and as a wrestler, if they are two different definitions?
They're the same. Love this question. I love this question because I have the perfect answer for it because I've asked it before. Success to me is doing what you love or making a living doing what you love. Awesome. And I feel like I'm closer to that than I've ever been. That's what success to me is to me. Raising a family, having a wife, but supporting yourself, doing what you love most. That to me is what success is.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That is the most succinct definition I think I've had. Certainly in wrestling anyway.
Oh, but also there's other success. Like I consider me wrestling people on the caliber, like I'm wrestling Rocky Romero in 2-3 weeks. That to me is also a very successful moment in my career because I looked up to that guy. wrestling EC3 twice. That to me is considered a successful step in my career. But success as a whole would be to be able to support yourself and your significant other and your family through what you love most.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's how I put it.
Absolutely, and it's lovely to hear that you're very close to doing that. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Oh, I feel it in my heart, but you never really know. But I'm hoping.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I guess next question is, how have you changed and developed then from the person you were when you started? So you're talking like 17, you know, going on these tours in the UK, Ring of Honor, working with Ring of Honor, learning from that locker room to where you are now with CYN. And how have you changed and developed as a person?
So many ways. Discipline in the gym, discipline in the ring, discipline in diet, everything. And it's also, my mindset has changed to, I love this, but it's changed from I love this to I need to do these things to be able to succeed in this. So when you wake up and you want to eat pancakes for breakfast with nice syrup and butter, you say, no, fuck, sorry. Screw that.
It's cool.
Screw that. I'm going to eat what my diet's telling me to eat because I need to do this to be able to do this. You know what I mean? So my mindset has went from, oh, I love this, but I'm going to, you know, maybe I could eat this meal. No maybes. There's no maybes anymore. There is, you do or you don't. Stick to your diet or you don't. So now I've been that way for the last few months. Last few years since EC3. EC3 has ingrained things in my head. He's such a blessing in my life. He really is. There's some things that he's taught me that I never knew, like health things and ingredients that help me heal. Like there's certain branched chain amino acids and proteins and stuff. Like those, like he's so smart when it comes to that. Or shallot. That's it's like a mushroom. Like it's like a mushroom. A mushroom, but it's from like a mountain, but like got healing benefits and stuff. It's just he's so knowledgeable, and he always takes the extra step to help me. So I try to always do the same for him. If
Absolutely.
I could.
Yeah, that's lovely, man. Again, it's I was speaking to August earlier, and even through his incredible heel persona, he was saying that it's like a brotherhood, that you guys are like brothers. And I like that.
I love it. Yeah. It really is. Like me and EC3, we talk all the time, and he's even like in my personal life, he's a part of it. He's probably gonna be in my wedding, obviously. Nice. But he's my man. He's my guy. One of my boys.
Nice, man. So, that's cool. That's awesome, man. I'm so pleased for you. I guess, you know, going from that, what is the biggest misconception then? Because again, I'm hearing about this brotherhood and it's awesome. What is the biggest misconception about CYN that you would like people to know? Something that perhaps you've heard, a rumor, or something you've read that maybe just isn't what the reality of CYN is?
For me, people have their own opinions.
Yeah.
I have my own opinions. Everyone has their own opinions, and that's okay. I think CYN I worked for their first show, and I was like, I kept my eyes open to see and it was just like a regular show. You know, it wasn't how certain people made it out to be. It's not. If you really take a look into it, it's just a wrestling show with good stories, with people who love wrestling, you know? And that's what it is. It's not a cult. It's not like, it's not. But people, they believe what they believe, and that's okay. They could believe what they want. I don't judge. I just know what I experience, and I go with what I experience, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I do understand. Okay, as an extension of that, then what's the biggest thing you would tell somebody looking to get into the business, maybe looking to get into CYN?
Getting into the business, like getting into like
wrestling.
I'm a wrestler, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. you got to find the school that's reputable. You got to find the good school, because so many schools out there that are teaching people the wrong way. They're teaching people, they're not treating their talent with respect, or their students with respect. So I think you got to find a good school. Monster Factory in New Jersey is a very good school. Wrestle Pro is a very good school. When Ring of Honor had the dojo, that was my favorite. But yeah, you have to get a good ground learning.
Yeah.
And then from there, you branch out, you keep training, you keep practicing, stick on your diet, and just, if you love wrestling, you got to put it first. You got to put these priorities, you know what I mean? And I think I do a good job of that. I think I do a very good job at, my mindset now is like, I got to do these things. Again, I got to do this. I can't eat this, but I could eat this. I have to eat this so I could do this. I have to look this way so I could make this in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, yeah, it's a mindset thing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do get that, Vinny, and I think that's really cool and really admirable that you feel that way and you reflect that way on wrestling. What about control your narrative? Again, what if somebody wants to control their narrative? What kind of steps? Because this is not, and nobody can deny, this is not a traditional wrestling company. You know, it's not, is it? So what you know, can somebody just walk through the doors of CYN?
No.
Tell me what that, what would you say to anybody who's interested?
Well, for me, I've known him before even CYN was a thing. So that's how, I mean, I wrestled him a few times. He knows how I could be. So I would say, if you haven't had that experience of getting the pleasure of wrestling him or knowing him prior, I would say attend the seminar of his, pick his brain, just learn about what he's looking for and try to become that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
He wants to see progress. That's all he cares about. He just wants to see you work hard. And I've shown him my body change from when I was during COVID. I lost 30 pounds. He saw that and was like, okay, really good. So he wants to see progress. So does any company. I think any company that's a major company wants to see guys improve and change their body or change whatever they can to become better.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it looks and it sounds like that's what you've done. And again, congratulations, Vinny, on that. 3 more questions then before we finish now.
No worries.
Again, I really enjoyed chatting to you. And again, this is, it's helping me understand the narrative a lot more. One thing I do want to ask you is another word, and I'm going to get you to kind of give me your thoughts on it. And that is legacy. Do you concern yourself with the idea of legacy, or is it something that doesn't register with you? I feel like you and August are going to have different answers.
I'm curious as to what he said, but my answer is I want to build a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. I think any wrestler should want to leave a legacy behind. I definitely do. I want to leave a legacy on my family, a legacy in my wrestling, and that's how I want to leave wrestling better than I found it. That's what I want to do. I want to leave wrestling, or I'm not going to ever leave wrestling. It's going to be impossible for me to, but I want to make wrestling or help wrestling get better than when I first got into it.
Okay, and that's interesting there. You say better, like that's an interesting, a real positive word to use. What are the things that you think need to be how does wrestling become better? Because again, different people are going to say different things.
I think just being a good person, having good motives, and treating people with respect, and being different from other wrestlers, having your own thing, that's always great. And just being a good person really goes a long way. A genuine good person, because there's a lot of fake people out there. So I think that a big part of that would be how you conduct yourself and how you are as a person. But yeah, my goal definitely is to leave a legacy behind of Vinny Pacifico, and I could change lives and make impacts in people's lives, and that to me is beautiful.
Yeah, it is, man. That's awesome, dude. And I do wish you all the best with it. A couple more questions then to finish.
No, please, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to chat to you. Career highlights. You mentioned being in that Ring of Honor locker room. You mentioned training with Ring of Honor. Obviously, CYN wrestling EC3. Can you get? Obviously, I've just put some words in your mouth there, but can you, from your own words, give me some examples of career highlights for you?
definitely wrestling EC3 was one. Wrestling Matt Sydal was one. Davey Richards was definitely a huge one. Gangrel, that was my first one. My first ever big name. Yeah, it was crazy. But no, other than that, I got to wrestle for Evolve. I believe I was on one of their last shows before they went with WWE. Like they completely left. Man, I'm blessed. I got to debut for NXT. Had a match against Joe Gacy last year.
Wow.
It's just been a wild ride, and I'm excited to see what's in store. I really am, because 15-year-old me, when I started, never thought I'd be. I actually did not even expect. I don't know. I'm just blessed.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Again, great to hear you reflect so positively on a career. I guess the last question I have at the moment is,
well, Dom, there has been moments in my career where there were like not good moments, but I try to always look at the bright side of things. You know, I've had times when I felt so depressed. You know, I had times when beating myself up. I was not happy. I was just, but that if you keep pushing, it goes, it passes.
Yeah. It's an interesting point, because again, I understand the narrative as, you know, you're challenging yourself. You're confronting stuff you maybe don't like about yourself, or stuff that needs to improve. You're challenging yourself to confront stuff that maybe you haven't always wanted to confront. And that's my understanding. Is that am I getting that right?
Yes, I've put myself in positions of challenging myself to where I can get better at it and get things out of the way. Like I've put more work into matches to push myself to make myself better. If that makes sense. I don't know how to put that. Yeah. I've had nights where I wrestled 4 times in one night. Wow. So I wanted that. I wanted those because I want to be able to be adaptive and adapt to anything. Yeah. I wrestled in 100-degree weather. I wrestled in freezing, in cold. I want to be able to be undeniable and adapt to any circumstance.
Yeah, that's an interesting word, the undeniable thing. It's come up a lot in wrestling, as you know. And I guess, you know, wrestling in those extreme temperatures and stuff, it takes some guts, man. And like, have you always been that way? Have you always had those guts, or is that something that's developed?
It's developed. But the first time I wrestled in the ring was black. So the sun was beating on it. It was so hot. You have no idea. It was terrible. But I was able to do it, and I got through it, you know? And I think I could get through it once, I could do it again. So, and you want to be able to be in those situations so that you never know. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. So prepare yourself for anything.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That very much seems like the controlling and everything. You've got to be prepared for anything. Yep. What would be your hopes then? Obviously, you can't speak for EC3. I understand that. But what is your hope for the future of Control Your Narrative?
I hope it keeps growing. I hope that fans open their eyes and maybe enjoy the product. Or I hope people start to see, you know, how good of a person EC3 is. Or I just hope more eyes go on it. I hope it grows to even bigger than it could even imagine being. And I just really hope the best for everybody, because I want everyone to succeed. I want to see all my friends succeed, all my peers, even people I don't even know. I want to see succeed. I want to see everyone succeed, because life ain't easy. So if anyone good at anything, it's good on them, because as long as you're a good person, obviously. But yeah,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean that's a deep question that I probably wasn't going to ask, but I think I might before we finish, because again, you mentioned being a good person a lot here, and that's something that you need in wrestling. I'm getting sorry, I interrupted you. Carry on.
No, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's all right. It's just that it's coming up a lot, this idea of being a good person, and also that there's a lot of backstabbing perhaps in the industry that maybe fans like myself aren't aware of. So what makes a good person in the wrestling industry, and how do you do it? How do you avoid those traps of, the sort of backstabbing or the I can't remember what word you used, but like when I spoke to August, he was very vocal about the, backstabbing types of people that there are in the wrestling industry. How do you avoid falling into those traps in this industry, in this, very popular industry that you're in, and stay and remain a good person?
I think just stick to your values you have as a human being.
Okay.
You're a human first. I think have good values in life and carry them into your career of wrestling. I think being a loyal, genuine, loving person speaks volumes over being a person who wants to stab somebody in the back. Because I think if I have to screw somebody in the back to get ahead, I didn't do it. I didn't do it naturally. I didn't do it because I'm better. I didn't do it because I work harder. I just did it because you know what I mean? So I think that's all bullshit. I think you put the fucking work in. You do the shit yourself. And once you're doing that shit yourself, you know you did it your way and did not screw anybody over. I have never and never will screw anybody over.
That's awesome, man.
Be decent.
I got a lot of respect for that. That's cool, man. You've got that desire to be a decent person. And I got a lot of respect for that, dude. Okay, final question then is a simple message for fans of maybe Control Your Narrative that have seen you, and also the people that have seen your other matches over the years, people that have supported you, family, friends. What is your message to those people that have got behind Vinny Pacifico from the very beginning of your career and will continue to support you going forward?
I thank them all the time. It's just my family, my friends, people who have just supported me. I thank them wholeheartedly all the time. It's just beautiful because I started out freshman in high school, getting bullied in school for it. Oh, you wrestling? Oh, what do you think you're John Cena? Like making fun of me and stuff. And they're messaging me now, asking me how I'm doing it, or, oh my God, I saw you on TV, or, oh my God, I saw, you know what I mean? Like, nah, it's blessing because to have the friends that I have in wrestling and outside wrestling and the family that I have and people in my life that I have who support me and push me, I think it's a blessing. And I'm very grateful for it because not everyone has that. And I hope everybody can get it and experience it one day because it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, man. I hope so too. Vinny, it's been an absolute pleasure. I have a better understanding of the narrative through talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to doing it again soon.
Thank you very much, Dom. I really appreciate you. You were awesome.